Many of you are aware, and most of you know, and if you don't, now you're going to know, that we are considering a brand new constitution for our church and congregation and a brand new set of bylaws. This is something the vestries from 2 years ago began working on and has continued to be worked on for 18 months now. We've had several sessions after church where small groups of people came and asked questions about the Constitution and the bylaws, what the purpose was, why we're doing it, all these kinds of things. But 2 weeks from today, we're going to ask you to consider these. Will be the first item on our agenda, because once we decide, are we going to go to the new format, or are we going to stay with the old format, then our elections will be based upon the changes in the management organization of the congregation. So the ushers are back here. We have two documents. One is the very detailed, laborious Constitution itself for your use, and then a document that kind of goes through and makes it easier to understand the changes and easier to understand what is trying to be accomplished. Is there anyone here in the congregation right now who would like to have a copy of either of these? If so, raise your hand and the ushers will bring it to you. Okay? This is a very important move as we move toward the visioning event called Healthy Church DNA that we want you to take this survey for. And it is something that will support in a major way the changes in the focus of our congregation. We're asking you to share with us your thoughts so that then as we go through Healthy Church DNA over the next year, we will have that input, plus we will have a structure that will support that input. So please, please, please do come to the annual meeting 2 weeks from today. The men's club's going to fix us a meal, and we're going to have the meeting, and we'll ask you to approve these changes. If you do, that will set how our elections will be held. Also, we do need folks to step forward and serve on the incoming church council, no longer to be called the vestry. Right here, I think there's one, Dennis.
We've got a few up here on this front section.
The church council instead of the church vestry. And that is to put us in line with the rest of the congregations in the synod and across the ELCA nationally. I'm available if anyone has any questions. Any member of the vestry is available. And vestry members, would you raise your hands so everybody can see who you are? If you have questions, please see a vestry person. You've got 2 weeks to make this decision on how you feel about it. We trust that you know that there has been a lot of prayer, a lot of thought, a lot of diligence put into this 18 months to come up with this. Most of the stuff in the new Constitution simply brings it in line with the ELCA. There are sections in the Constitution that have an asterisk by the section. If you see an asterisk by the section, that means we don't have an option on that one. That is required by the ELCA and by the Texas-Louisiana Gulf Coast Synod that it be in our Constitution. If it doesn't have an asterisk by it, those are the things that we have put into the Constitution to reflect our congregational needs. Have I covered everything I need to?
I think you have. And I would say this is a really exciting time to be church. This is an exciting time because so much has changed in our world. So much has shifted in the way the church does mission, and we're on the cusp of that as we're gearing to be further into mission. It's an exciting time. So take a read, take a study, take the time, pray, be present, and let's be part of this together.
The big challenge and the big directive from this vestry is that this annual meeting will be one of transparency. Transparency in having you see this way in advance. It's been shown and offered for the last 3 months. And also in the annual report this year, you will see much more detail in all of the organizations of the congregation, including detailed financial reports from all of the subsidiary accounts. And I hope that that will give us that transparency that this vestry wanted to have. And thank you, and God bless all of you.
Thank you, George.